Hello friends, welcome back. Let's continue with problems based on t ratios for specific angles. In the previous session, we did a couple of problems. Let's do one more of that type. I'm sharing my screen. I hope you are able to see my screen. Here's the problem. In triangle PQR, which is right angled at Q, PQ is equal to 3 centimeters, PR is equal to 6 centimeters. Determine angle QPR and angle PRQ. Okay, so what are we given? We're given a right angle triangle which is right angled at Q, and we are also given two sides. We're given side PQ, which is 3 centimeters, and we're also given PR, which is 6 centimeters, right? We are supposed to find out the two angles, angle QPR and angle PRQ. Now, for convenience purpose, we are going to refer to angle QPR as angle P, right? Because that would be more easier than mentioning a lengthy name. And instead of angle PRQ, we will refer to it as angle R, right? So this is angle P and this is angle R. So what is given? So in triangle PQR, we are given PQ is equal to 3 centimeters, PR is equal to 6 centimeters, PR is equal to 6 centimeters, and we are given angle P is equal to, no, we have to find out angle P and angle R. Two sides given, you need to find out two angles. So let's see how we're going to approach this kind of a question where you have two sides and two angles given. Now here, you can either start by finding out what angle P is. So if I find out what angle P is, this angle, if I find out what this angle is, with the help of this and with the help of 90 degrees, I can find out what the remaining angle R is. Because you know that in a triangle, the sum of all the three angles will be 180. So if I can find out angle P and angle Q being given as 90, I can easily determine what angle R is. The other way is to find out what angle R is. This one plus the 90 degrees will help you to get this angle. So it's up to you whether you want to find out angle P first or angle R first. I'm going with angle R, and I have a particular reason for it, because when I look from a perspective of angle R, I see sine R is equal to opposite by hypotenuse. So for angle R, this is opposite and this is hypotenuse. But for those of you who would want to start with angle P, then you can't take sine, you will have to take cos, because the side 3 centimeter is your adjacent side and 6 is the 6 centimeters the hypotenuse side. So it depends on which angle you're taking. So I'm going to look at sine of angle R because I have with me opposite and hypotenuse side. So here I write sine of angle R is equal to opposite by hypotenuse. Opposite is PQ, hypotenuse is PR, correct? Opposite is PQ and hypotenuse is PR. And then I will write the values of opposite and hypotenuse. PQ is 3 centimeters, PR is 6 centimeters. So therefore, sine of angle R is equal to 1 by 2. 2, 3 and 6 is reduced to 1 by 2. Now, what is the angle measure of sine that will give you a value of 1 by 2? Going back to the table, what angle measure of sine gives you a value of 1 by 2? So if you need to look at the table, please do so and you will get an answer of 30 degrees, right? But by this time, these values should be, in your minds. You shouldn't be having to look at the table, especially for these values that commonly come up in questions. So instead of 1 by 2, I'm going to write sine of 30 degrees because we know that 1 by sine 30 is 1 by 2. Now, as mentioned before, whenever you do these kind of substitutions, please write why it is so. Since sine 30 is equal to 1 by 2, right? So we have sine R is equal to sine 30. Sine of angle R is equal to sine of 30 degrees. Like in one of the previous questions, we said if sine A is equal to sine B, it means A is equal to B. So angle R is equal to 30 degrees. So that is one answer, right? Now, since you have R is equal to 30 degrees, coming back here, here you have R is equal to 30 degrees. So I have R 30, I know angle Q is 90, 30 plus 90 is 120, and you know that the sum of angles in a right angle triangle is 180. So just writing it here, in triangle PQR, angle P plus angle Q plus angle R is equal to 180. We know, and we have to find out angle P plus 90 degrees plus 30 degrees, which we now found out is equal to 180 degrees. So angle P is equal to plus 120 degrees is equal to 180 degrees. Therefore, angle P is equal to 180 minus 120 that is angle P is equal to 60 degrees. So you have found out both the angles. First we found out what angle R was. Where is angle R? Here is angle R. Found out that angle R is equal to 30 degrees. That is one answer. With the help of that 30 and the right angle 90, we then use sum of angles of a triangle property and found out angle B. So that solves this question. You were asked to find out angle QPR and PRQ. Now what you can also do is, instead of this, either you should have mentioned let QPR is equal to angle P and PRQ is equal to angle R in the beginning when you start the problem, or you mention here as per what the question is angle, because the question does not talk about angle P and R, it talks about these two, right? It talks about QPR, PRQ. So QPR, therefore angle QPR is equal to angle P, which is equal to, what was the angle P that we got? We got 60 degrees, I guess. Yeah, 60 degrees. And angle PRQ, which we simplified as angle R, is equal to 30 degrees. So always give the answer in terms of what they have mentioned in the question, right? So this is your final answer. Okay, then I think with this problem we can close this chapter on T ratios of specific angles. In the next session we will look at the next chapter in trigonometry, which is T ratios of complementary angles. So trigonometric ratios of complementary angles is what we will talk about in the next session. Okay. So thanks for watching, and till we catch up next time, bye. Thank you.